Hello everyone, welcome back. Starting from Fedora 42 release, as we see in Fedora's official website, KDE Plasma is included in the official edition part. It's the same part with the Fedora workstation that uses GNOME desktop environment. It makes me very excited to try KDE Plasma for my daily usage. Before becoming a long-time GNOME user, I used to try many desktop environments, and KDE Plasma is one of them. KDE Plasma is a very customizable and it has very rich features. It made me confused because the general settings menu became complicated for me, and every time I wanted to change something, I forgot the position of the settings. So at that time, I decided to switch to GNOME. It's simple and its simplicity makes everything easier. But since KDE Plasma is aligned with GNOME in Fedora release, I decided to try KDE again. And I will share with you about my experience when I tried this KDE desktop environment. And please share your experience or maybe your thoughts in the comment below. Let's go to KDE official website, kde.org. At this homepage, you can see what KDE offers to you. The first thing that you can find is the KDE applications. Just like GNOME, KDE has their own applications that are built for the KDE environment. And it is created by the community and it is served to you by accessing KDE Discover. And then you will see some devices that use KDE as the default desktop environment. We can also read announcements about KDE in this homepage. And then we can read about the KDE community also. If you want to get involved in KDE project, you can read this section. If you want to see what Linux distro that uses KDE as the default desktop environment or Linux distro that brings KDE as their desktop environment choice, you can, from here, you can scroll all the way up and then click the install on your computer button. You can see that Fedora is in the list. In this video, I will only try KDE that is bundled with Fedora 42. So let's click the Learn More button. That button will redirect us to the Fedora KDE Plasma page here. You can see some features that come with KDE. Let's click the Download Now button. Before we try the KDE Plasma desktop in Fedora 42, if we go here, you can see that there are many types of ISO image. For example, here, this is for x86 64 system. You can install this ISO image, for example, in laptop and your desktop computer. And then for the ARM architecture, also you can see here that there are two types, .iso image and the raw .xz. I don't know what is it. I think you can install this on a Raspberry Pi, because as long as I know, Raspberry Pi using the ARM architecture. Raspberry Pi. I cannot see the specification detail here. Wait, hardware. I will try this. Okay, this is the specification. I think Raspberry Pi 5 using this architecture, so I think you can install this type of ISO image to this Raspberry. I never install this type of ISO image on a Raspberry because I don't have it. So if you already tried, just leave your comment below and maybe you can tell your experience. Okay, back to the download page of Fedora KDE Plasma, and then scroll a little bit, you can see that there's an application called Fedora Media Writer. You can use this application for creating a bootable flash drive or USB flash drive for installing your Fedora 42 KDE Plasma Desktop. You can download and install it on Windows and Mac, but if you already install Fedora operating system on your computer or laptop, you can browse the Fedora Media Writer. It's already installed when you installing the Fedora. Here, this is my Fedora Media Writer. I'm using Fedora 41 Workstation. You can download the ISO image, then click the select ISO file and click next, and follow the instruction. And then we can see also other downloads. Let's click. We will be redirected to something like another download method here. Torrent downloads, and there's a method. I don't know what is it because it's here, but I used to try this installation method, so I just download this ISO, and then when we install with this ISO image, each package will be downloaded from the repository, so we will have the newest package when we install with this ISO image. And then this is the other download method, torrent download. So if you download here, you will use the direct download method, and if you download from here, you will use the torrent download method. I usually use this method because my internet is not fast enough, so I can continue the download process another day. And then I don't know what is this, alternate architectures, and then cloud-based image, I don't know. And okay, you can explore it. Actually, I already downloaded the ISO image, so let's open the GNOME boxes. And then let's create a VM by clicking this button, this icon, and choose the install from file. And let's go to the folder where the KDE Desktop Live is located. And this is my ISO image. And then I will give a name for this VM, Fedora 42 KDE Plasma. And for the memory, I will give 6 GB of RAM, and then for the storage I will make this 40 GB, and then click this create button. I will choose allow, and the VM will be booted directly, so I will choose to start the live mode. In this live mode, we will see a welcome window, and the first page is a suggestion that offers us to install this Fedora 42 KDE version to the hard drive. If we click the next button on the right of the window, we will see something like highlighted features in KDE. And I will click this until the end. The window will be closed automatically, and I will directly install this Fedora 42 KDE version to the hard drive by double clicking the shortcut button. I will make this bigger, this GNOME boxes window. Okay, so it will be full screen. And something that makes me surprised, this Fedora 42 KDE version still use the old installer user interface. It's not web UI like the GNOME workstation, the Fedora 42 workstation with the GNOME desktop environment. So it's still using the old user interface for installing this KDE version. And then I will choose the English and click the continue button. We can see here that there are 3 parts: localization, system, and user settings. So the first part already good, and then the second part I will choose the destination. The destination will be the virtual block device. I think this is my VM hard drive. I will choose the automatic and then click done. And then let's go to the third part. We need to create an account. I will type sometimes programmer. The username will be SP and the password, I will untick this option. So I think this option will give the user SP, a privilege like a super user with sudo. So I don't need that because actually I will enable the root account. Okay, click done twice because my password is not good password. And then click the begin installation button, this button. So the installation will be started. I will jump to the end of the installation. The installation process has finished, and we need to click the finish installation button in the bottom right of the screen in here. So I will click the finish button, and then actually we need to eject the ISO image. I will shut down this VM first. Shut down now. So this is our new VM. I will right click and go to the preferences, devices and shares, and I will remove the ISO image. So I don't know why the VM already run without I click the VM. I don't know why. So when we click this VM, it's already up and running. So let's go to the VM, go to the KDE, enter the password. Okay everyone, so the first window that appears is the welcome window. This window will highlight some features that may be useful for us, just like we found back in the live mode session. And the difference is there's a window that needs our permission to share the anonymous usage information. I think this information will be sent to KDE. I will set this to center and then click next button. And I don't want to enable the third-party repositories, so I will click next again. Then it's finished by clicking the finish button, and we are ready to go. Actually, I never used KDE Plasma for a long time. Just try and switch again to GNOME, and in this video I try KDE Plasma again after several years using GNOME. Just like I mentioned before in the beginning, I am excited to try KDE Plasma because the KDE version is no longer in the Spin version. And the question is, will KDE Plasma replace GNOME for the default desktop environment in the next flagship Fedora Workstation version? Just leave your comment below. Okay, back to the screen. The first place that I want to go is the General System Setting window. I will click the Fedora logo in the bottom left of my screen and simply type settings, or actually we can find the system settings in the favorites, but if you don't see it in the favorite, you can search by typing system. I usually type settings. Click it, and we are now in the General System Settings menu window. On the left side menu, scroll all the way down, and we will see the About This System. Click it. In this window, we can see that Fedora Linux 42 KDE Plasma Desktop Edition brings KDE version 6.3.4. In the left side menu, I can see here we can do many things related to the, for example, appearance setting. This one, and from here we can change the wallpaper, for example, and colors and themes settings. Wait, for example, I will click this colors and themes. Okay, let's go back. And the interesting thing in the side menu is the window management menu. A very interesting thing is that we don't need to install window management. Just go to the general settings and we will find it. So it's something that I cannot find in GNOME. In GNOME, we need to install first the GNOME Tweaks, this one, and also for manage the GNOME shell extension, we need GNOME extensions. So this is the panel if you use GNOME for changing the appearance. For example, at the first time when I finished the installation, there's no this button, the minimize and maximize button for each window. So I need to install tweaks to make this appear in the top right of the window. So like this, you can see the different before and after. And if I want to make these buttons on the left side, so I just click this like this. Okay, and then for the extension, I need to install the GNOME extensions. These GNOME extensions for manage the GNOME shell extension, for example, the Arch menu here, I can manage, I can do some settings for the Arch menu from the GNOME extension here. For example, this one, settings. And then also for the dash 2 panel here, if I click this off, the dash 2 panel will be gone. Okay. So in KDE Plasma, we don't need to install anything to manage the appearance. Another interesting thing for me is the remote desktop menu. We can see that in here, remote desktop. Because right now I'm using GNOME boxes, I cannot connect to my VM from my host operating system. Usually I need VirtualBox running on my GNOME so I can use the bridge network mode easily, so I can connect to my VM through the bridge network in VirtualBox. I will close this system settings window. Next, we are going to see about the way we install applications with KDE. In GNOME, I have softwares to install applications with GUI. In KDE, we have Discover, and then in this window we can see that there are many applications that we can install to our Fedora 42 KDE, and this is the category of the application. And then we can also click this system settings. Okay, so I think this is also a category of the application. Maybe we can click this settings button, and then in this settings menu we can manage the repository here. I can see 3 parts of the repository. The first one is Flatpak, and the second one is the firmware updates, and then the third part is Fedora 42. On the Flatpak part, we can add another repo by clicking the Add Source button here, or we can directly add FlatHub repo by clicking the button Add FlatHub. Let's try. Wait a minute. I cannot see the FlatHub repository. I think I will close this first. Discover Software Center. Click install. Okay, we have FlatHub repo now. And also we can erase the Flatpak repo by clicking the trash bin icon here. And then we can enable or disable repo by giving a tick in the checkbox. Okay, now the FlatHub repo is disabled. Now enable. And then for the two other parts, firmware updates and Fedora Linux 42 part, I don't see a button or something to add a new repository. We can only enable or disable the registered repo here. I will go back to the home menu and try to install something from here. For example, I will install Krita. Click this Krita button. I think it's a button. Click this Krita. Now we are in the Krita's installation page. On the top right of the window, we can choose the repo. We can install from Flatpaks, or we can install it from Fedora Linux repository. I will try to install Krita from Fedora Linux repo. And then next to the repo switcher, there's a button that we can click to install Krita. Click install. And because I activated the root user and disabled the ordinary user privilege to act like a super user by using sudo, I need to input my root password. And then I will click the OK button. The installation process is started. We can see the process at the bottom left of the window. The installation process is finished. Let's run Krita. Krita graphics, Krita here. Okay, I will click the new. And then I will just click the create button. I think Krita is running well here. Let's go to the apps.kde.org, and if we look over here, we can see that Krita is here. I think Krita is part of the KDE project. I will close this browser, the Firefox browser, and then close the Krita. Do you want to save it? No. I will close the Discover Software Center. And because we are talking about Linux, it's not complete if we don't try the command line interface, or maybe some people say the terminal emulator. In GNOME, I have terminal for the terminal emulator, and KDE, we have Konsole. This one, Konsole, for the terminal emulator. And this is the Konsole. At the first sight, it looks normal like the other terminal emulator, but for me, a long time GNOME user, I see something different. You can see the button next to the New Tab button. As your information, this feature is what I needed the most of my time using the terminal emulator. In GNOME, I have to install Tilix to get this feature because in GNOME terminal, I can only see the New Tab feature. I will show you the terminal in GNOME. So this is the terminal in GNOME, and this is the terminal, the console in KDE. So I don't have the split view feature in my terminal in GNOME. I only have the New Tab. Back to the screen. In the split view, I can split the window in left or right mode, or top or bottom mode. When I need to administer my server, this feature is very useful. The appearance setting is also easy. For example, I like to see this console using the white background. So I can click the hamburger menu, then go to settings, and click the configure console. In the profiles menu, here, profiles menu, click new to create a new profile. I will name this profile as my profile. Then go to appearance menu. Then on the color scheme and font, I can choose black on white. And in the cursor tab, I will set the shape to underline. Then click the OK button. To set the new profile as a default profile, click my profile, this one. That profile is the only one profile that I just added. And then click the set as default. Then click the OK button. The window will be closed. Reopen the console. And we can see that the console is running in the new profile. We are at the end of this video, so I think KDE Plasma is worth a try for those of you who want a desktop environment that has rich features, so you can just go with your work. KDE Plasma also gives you full control to personalize your desktop environment, as you can see in the general setting window. Okay everyone, thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe to support this channel.